And hello, YouTube people, always late to the party. Facebook people have been here for hours. You've missed so much. Sorry about that, but you can catch up and look at it later. Um, I'm Scott. We have the lovely and talented Dr. Susan, as always.
Hello.
The equally lovely and talented Erica.
Hello.
The always ever present, equally talented
I
and
missed you
lovely
guys.
Ava.
I missed
Ava
a
hasn't been
couple.
here for a couple
I
weeks.
know, I missed a couple.
We missed you.
You
Yeah,
so
thank-
much,
thank
Ava.
you,
It's so
thank you,
good
thank
to have you
Thank you.
back.
But I know you
The-
guys had some good shows.
The thousands of people, thousands of live
Yeah.
stream viewers that just wait effortlessly
Yep, I
week in,
bet.
week out to
I
see what
bet.
is going to come out of this round table.
All right, all right, all right.
The comments, and thank you for the comments of wondering where Ava's been for the last couple of weeks. We
Oh,
appreciate
seriously?
that.
There's people had commented?
dozens.
No, I don't believe it.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's mocking me.
No, I'm
Okay,
not.
I don't believe that for
No,
1 second.
I'm
Okay,
not.
Thank you. That
True.
was kind. Okay.
So, what are we talking about today, Ava?
Social graces.
Look at that. Ava actually
I'm really psyched.
up.
I'm really psyched about this
It's
one.
it's a little more specific. It's Southern social graces.
Oh, I didn't get that one.
But as we were talking about with the modern gentleman ideas, really, if you think about it, Southern social graces, it should be for everybody. It could be for everybody. It's not necessarily for
Okay.
the South, right?
I think it's a facet of the American culture where the South really leads.
I feel old. I'm like, are you kidding me? No,
It's
no.
wonderful.
I
Makes
eat
a
it up.
difference.
There is something about that. There's some military guys who come to see me and on my and yes ma'am, and I just have this on my skin, yes ma'am, and I'm like, I just have
I
all
will
your
do
respect.
anything for you.
For sure.
Yep.
For your parents, your mom. And they seem to love their mother, which is to me is having a boy.
Oh.
That
Are
is
you
something.
saying Northerners don't love
I
their
don't
moms?
know that they just really into their mama, and I love that.
It's like Forrest Gump.
I am.
He always went
all-
back to mama.
I'm just.
True.
I'm loving this topic because one of the things that I loved about moving here is this. I told you guys the story. How was your experience? Did you like our strawberries in the first grocery store, or you?
Oh, you talking about Publix?
No, I
Or here?
went Giant Eagle.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for your patronage at the butcher shop at Giant Eagle. I thought, what? I love you for saying that. It is so nice. And then when you took me out to restaurant the first time, when I went to the bathroom, you stood up a little bit, and I thought, did I do something wrong? And then I go back, and you stood up again. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to ask people about that. And then one of
Yeah,
my
I don't do
clients,
that anymore. It's 23 years.
yes, you do. Don't and
Well, Erica
my,
was just talking about that with Jeff.
I freaking
couple
love
weeks
that. That to me is I matter. You see me. I'm a lady, and I shared it with another client of mine who said I would absolutely not make my husband. I said it's not making him
Yes.
doing that. It's about he respects you. He sees you. Maybe I'm not using the correct technical words, but I honestly feel that it's such importance to feel special, right?
I'm so happy you're saying that because I do feel that there's something special about some of these graces, about a man getting up and when you walk in and opening the door for you,
Yes.
bringing flowers. I do love that. But I do also think that what you just said is an interesting point. Do we feel like we're expected to do it? Is it a duty or is it done because we just really want to do that to the person because we see them and we value them? And I think that's the distinction about any type of social graces. Are they genuine or are they disingenuous? So I'll give you an example. I did live in the South for a few years. I lived in Texas, as you did.
Texas is not the South. Texas is Texas.
No, where I lived, it was the South.
Texas is Texas.
Have you
It's-
been to Longview, Texas?
Yes,
It
but
was
it's,
definitely the South.
it is different than like Greenbow or
Okay,
Alabama.
I'm lost in this one.
Okay.
Mississippi,
Okay,
Alabama,
okay. There's different levels to
you
the
know,
South.
like Duluth, Georgia. That's the South. South
Okay.
Carolina,
Well, it depends on where you are. We were on the border of Louisiana, so it was very
Louisiana, very south.
as
Yes.
southern as you can get in
Okay.
Texas.
Yeah.
And I lived there for 3.5 years. And when I left, someone said, I should have brought you. I don't even know if it's correct for me to say this, but this is what the person said to me. I should have brought you the Yankee Girl Guide to East Texas. And I said, oh, I don't even know what any of that means. But yes, you probably should have, because now I'm moving away.
Yeah, 'cause you were
and
a
it's not
carpetbagger.
going to do any good for me now to know any of the social graces that I was supposed to be following for the past 3.5 years, and obviously
You
didn't.
carpetbagger.
So did
you.
they read that book to you? Did you read it?
No, it was after I was leaving. They
I
said
freaking
I
want this
should
book.
have. They said I should have given it to you. So that made me think, well, then I must have failed.
You missed several chapters.
You missed several chapters, and then the other part was just acknowledging that there was a difference. But I will say, I really did enjoy living in Texas. My children were young. I had my third child there in East Texas, and I did learn a lot. I loved some of the formalities and the ma'am and the sir and the opening up the doors and the uber friendliness in the grocery stores. I did like that. It makes you feel special, but I do like it to come from a genuine place.
Oh yeah, it makes a difference.
And I feel like you can tell when someone's being genuine and someone's not being genuine. So that's the thing for me. If someone's just saying yes, ma'am, because they feel like they have to say yes, ma'am, I can kind of sense it. But if they're just really like, oh yes, ma'am, like I can feel the difference. And it's hard. It's these little nuances, but it does make a difference for me. The amount of genuine
Oh yeah.
effort.
Well, Ava's big thing, and she will be the first. Remember when you always said you had a thing with people saying, "How are you doing today?"
And I learned that. And the point that you're making is it genuine or not? But what you have to remember, they still do it though, so that they still have that discipline. Because there is a discipline into saying hello to somebody, right? There is a sort of like maybe I'm not saying it correctly, but we
Yeah, but
learned
you
that
hated it when people would say, "How are you doing?"
I find it suspicious in the beginning. But then you started having this endorphins of like, maybe they actually care that what my strawberries are, or that I find them. So you start wondering, and then I was loving it. It made me feel good. So there is this, we didn't do it where I come from, not because of anything. Maybe I don't want to judge anything. I just loved it when I received it. Your point, correct. It's not from the beginning, but I sort of enjoyed it. And the thank you cards and all that, like, going to somebody's house and bringing flowers, it is like the time that it took. None of us have time right now. We are so incredibly busy with just our phone. The 87 messages that I'm going to get after, or you guys all successful people. Like, just imagine
What
that
are you?
1 hour right now, how much email we're going to get to responding to them, and the discipline of taking your time, saying hello to somebody, buying flour, or so-and-so like this banana bread, I'm going to make it for her next time when I come on to see her, or buy it. That takes time. That takes such an effort now, probably even more than before. I think that's just wrapping presents. Who wraps presents anymore? We're all putting it in a shopping bag and a tissue and then call it a day.
No, you still keep the present wrapping thing
I
because you were trained by mom.
I
She was
love
trained
you.
by my mom. for the-
And I'm so
it's
sorry,
a
Susan.
big
I'm just like,
tradition.
I get really excited about this. So I've been like yapping. So I let you.
I love
I'm
it.
so sorry.
I'm taking.
I just think
we have
it's-
entire
jump in.
closets of wrapping paper.
Yes, I love that.
Total
We literally
respect.
just brought like a extra large suitcase of ribbon
Yes.
back from Florida.
Yes, I love ribbons.
Because just of
Because that
Ribbon.
was you wrapping that
No,
present.
this time of year is when I pick out the scheme,
Oh.
the
the
scheme.
color. Yeah.
Oh,
What
she's
type
one of those
of
coordinated
but yes, what
wrappers.
type of ribbon? Oh yeah, no, I totally relate. It's a big deal.
It is so special. I got invitations, and invitations still a paper that you open an envelope. Invitation that paper, the texture, the colors of getting invited to somewhere.
I think we just got one from.
Oh.
I love.
Is that the
I didn't
Friendsgiving?
wanna- I
Is that the
don't wanna-
Friendsgiving thing?
I don't want to say it all. But since he blew it, so that's that. I just love that. Like
Yeah.
you don't get
It's
those
time,
anymore.
it's effort, it's putting who you are out there.
It's like thank you
to
notes, too.
someone else.
Yeah,
Like the handwritten thank you note.
Yeah, that's definitely going to
For
the
me,
wayside.
it is a challenge because obviously I don't write with the good, but I could write it from a book or something. But I really appreciate when I always think she actually sat down, thought of me, took the time, wrote it, went to the post office or whatever, mailed it, got the stamp. Just think about that. Think of the time that took.
The handwriting thing is important to me because, I mean, and my handwriting's terrible. I mean, if somebody got a handwritten letter from me, they would think I'm like in a hostage situation, just writing them some kind of note
But
to
you
get me
still
out and
did
stuff.
it.
It's like,
But
and
you still did it.
still can, and we've, with Christian gets Christmas presents or birthday presents, and it's like,
he's horrible at it.
oh my gosh, it's like beating a horse. It's like,
That's where it comes. Does it come
write
from
a
genuinely,
note back.
Or sorry to interrupt you. Is it or your parents make you do it? Yeah, that's where your point
I do,
comes
no,
from.
but I do like your point, Ava, and here's where I
Not
feel
mine,
like
though, just yours.
here's where I like where we have these tables because you want to leave learning something, and I've learned something just now from you. That is not just about whether or not someone's genuine or not, but there's an actual discipline and teaching around it and an effort around it. So even if the person doesn't want to do it, they still are making the effort. That should still give them some credit.
Yeah.
And
sure.
so I am going to look at it a little differently now. I think that when we come to these tables and we talk, if we walk away learning something a little bit, or you all walk away learning something a little bit, then we've done our
Yeah,
job here because that's the point, is to listen. And so now I'm going to look at it a little differently, Ava. So I appreciate your perspective. I also am going to say the other day, I was in front of your spa, ESSpa. I probably was getting some fabulous treatment there.
Thank you.
Or actually, no, I was on my way to get a fabulous treatment there.
Okay.
And I was late. I was late to the appointment. And I was running across the street as fast as I can after healing from a broken ankle. But I was running across the street, and I saw an old friend of mine on the other side of the street. And I said to myself, okay, I can just wave and keep running, and then I won't be late.
That's a good one.
I can keep running and I won't be late. Or I
Stop.
can stop and talk to her and be kind and give her my presents, but then I'm going to be late. So I thought about it. And for a minute, she said, it looks like you're going somewhere. I'm like, oh boy, what do I do?
Well,
and
now,
then
when
I
was the
thought,
last time you had a conversation with this person?
oh, it had been like probably 6 months.
Oh, so it's what? Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
So then I was like, okay, I can't win and I can't lose. But I remembered some of our conversations we had around, we've been talking about these social graces for a while.
Yeah.
We had another talk about it in GQ magazine a couple weeks ago. And I thought about it and I'm like, I think the better thing to do here is to stop, go back and talk to my friend.
Yes.
And I think that's the better thing to do.
You know what the perfect thing to do would be? Would be to go get the friend and bring them to have a service.
I knew.
on time.
I so knew
That,
that.
and then you could catch up in a relaxing environment. Everybody's happy. You would
The
be on
business owner
time.
talks out of
She
you.
would be
Here's something.
overwhelmed because she would be like, "Oh, this is great. I pass by here all the time. I don't know what's in here.
Well,
this is so
when
nice."
you think about it, I want to highlight an experience that sort of separates the wheat from the chaff, and that is truly at an environment such as yours, Ava, there are all these niceties and all of these extras that you don't necessarily get in other places, which may be similar. They may have a similar menu, they may have a similar configuration, but you've got the berry infused water and you don't go looking for it. It's handed to you. You have a beautiful environment The music stylings are well selected. They're curated,
It's
and you can
different.
tell. You have
Zooby zooby zoo.
ambiance. You have people who are so well trained. The standard for engagement and interaction
Oh,
is
you kind
above
of
and
say.
beyond. And so I really do know that you value what you're expressing you value, because you create that in your environment. And I always feel better when I'm there before I get the service, because I'm already
It's like a pre-treatment.
shifted into a zone and a vibration, literally a vibrational state that beautifully competes with the rest of the world, the rush out on the street and so forth. So I really do want to share that,
Oh, I
because
appreciate that.
yes, the services are the best as far as I'm concerned, but the the whole factor of the environment and how you have cultivated it in every element, including the people. And I think that's what gracious living is.
Yes.
And to personalize it, I remember years ago living in the Northeast, which is different than living in the Mid-Atlantic here, and nuanced but different. And I remember someone saying to me, when I come to visit you, Susan, at first I was uncomfortable because I felt you were waiting on me.
In New England
In
or Northeast.
yeah, in
Okay.
northern New Jersey,
Northern New Jersey
upper
is not.
Delaware, New York, that part of the
Yeah.
world. Okay, I'll call it the Northeast corridor, the corridor. It's just different. And but long story short, it I faced in a moment. Do I apologize for being gracious?
Well, waiting on you in
But
terms of like offering,
Just-
get some water,
just
just the
hosting.
normal things,
Just
right?
hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can I get you anything?
But
Blah, blah, blah.
focusing on somebody
Yeah.
one-on-one or small group, and being there to make sure that they're fed and watered and comfortable
Like a horse?
is definitely. Do I have enough oats? I always ask myself. But no, it was second nature to me, and that's definitely how I was raised. But it made me realize that's not the standard necessarily
Yeah.
everywhere. And for some people, and I think, Erica, you were talking a bit about this, Ava, you definitely were. If it is a different type of approach than you're accustomed to, or that you've just ever reflected on, it may feel a little uncomfortable. I mean, that person I'm talking
Yeah, it's
about
unusual.
was very grateful and then imitated it when I visited it.
Oh,
But
wow.
it was just a very telling moment.
Yeah, I remember somebody was helping me with a similar situation that I felt like, I don't know, maybe it's a little overwhelming. And she said to me, well, what's it make you feel like when somebody does something to you or feel like they care about it? Maybe even if it seems like it's too much. Or what you
Something
feel like,
nice for you?
yeah. And I said, well, it's uncomfortable. And she said, let me reverse it. When you do something extra, let's say this is extra, what is it feels to you?
To
And I
you,
said,
yeah.
obviously amazing. She said, now you're robbing that person from that feeling. And she said, I want to use this word robbing because it's a melodramatic word, but I want you to feel it.
It's so true.
Because now
Stealing their joy.
you taking away that from them, and don't. They want to show you how much you're special or matter, that you visited their house, you sat down with them, you want to choose their meal, or whatever the situation is. Let them do this for you because they want to, otherwise they wouldn't.
It's enjoyable.
Yes. The people who are uncomfortable about it, and I've been there in many times, you come from, I don't deserve this. There is no way that and I had this situation when particularly really good friends doing something extraordinary that not that it's not a competition, but you can't match, right?
There's an expression in the American culture called an embarrassment of riches.
Okay.
And that, I think, is what we as humans
Yes.
globally identify with when we feel as though we're receiving, and it produces a state of overwhelm in us.
Yes.
It's guilt.
And we
There's a
think to
feeling of
ourselves
guilt.
on some primal level, have I earned this?
I don't deserve this.
Yes.
Do I deserve? Right.
Yes.
But it's very human.
But
I don't have that problem,
this so
personally.
we know.
And I am not shocked.
I will never feel
I'm
guilty.
not shocked by this
Never
revelation.
feel guilty about anybody giving me anything
We
or
all
receiving.
get that, and for some reason, we love this about you.
Yes,
I
for
don't know
sure.
why.
I'm very
but
comfortable
we
in
do.
my
Sure.
reception of gifts.
That's
Okay,
really,
then.
really good.
Well, I remember, Ava, you both came to our retreat last year
I know.
in February, and
Oh, it
we
was
did
so much fun.
try to also curate a very special experience for everybody who comes to our retreat. Make
And
them
it
feel
was.
special.
It was
Thank
amazing.
you. But I do particularly remember, Ava, your gratitude. You kept saying,
Right.
"Wow, thank you for doing all this for me. Wow, this is amazing." And I truly remember that, and I appreciated your appreciation.
Because one of the things that and you guys, all of you have to check out about the new retreat, but your attention to details. So that again makes me think that you care about the people who are attending.
They're
'Cause
first.
You really, really think of the scenarios, and you guys organized it to the second.
Except for the Skytram.
Okay, we're gonna
It,
correct
it,
that.
previously, I was out of our control, but we've taken measures.
That is fixed.
We've taken
This
measures.
year.
And we're all going to. But
Yes, we will.
It is. I appreciate that because again, it goes back to that the little name on the cards, my name on it. They actually. I mean, I am a sucker for that kind of stuff. It
It's
is
lovely,
makes it
right?
such
Personal.
a personal touch, and that as a business owner for me, I know how much time that takes, and organization, and like I don't want to use a word, but again, discipline. That I just absolutely applaud people who are doing that, and appreciate people more who
It's acknowledging the effort.
Yes.
It
I
really
think
is.
that I always love when people make an effort. When I found out that the two of you signed up for the retreat, I was so thrilled. I go, "Is that the Kirschbaumers from
Oh my
ESSpa?"
God, you
Like,
make it sound
Are there
they
others?
signed
Are there other Kirschbaumers? Where are
There's
they?
other Kirschbaumers.
Produce these other
No,
Kirschbaumers.
we were thrilled.
I was
No.
like, I can't
We
believe
were
it.
thrilled to have everybody who
Yes.
participates.
And
Don't
then we
get us
showed up
wrong.
and they weren't that thrilled anymore. So I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
well, Ava's Scott's
Quite
coming.
the
Oh,
opposite.
I
So
don't know.
like the
Yeah, we were
opposite.
psyched
I
to
couldn't
go.
believe it. And then,
But it was exciting because you're part of our village
yes,
here.
yes,
Yes.
and it was that
And
effort.
and it was an effort, and your enthusiasm, your personal texts telling us, it just felt wonderful.
And your trust,
thank
your
you.
trust in us.
Yes.
Well,
to
you
come
guys
and-
Well,
are
there was a-
nice.
there was
you're
pool and a hot tub, so I'm good.
providers
So,
too.
as long as there's
You're
water.
providers in your own right. As you say, you know
Yeah.
what some of these things
Yeah.
really
Yes.
take. So you're coming at it from a perspective which is somewhat unique and resonates with our walk as an enterprise. And so, yeah, it was wonderful. And
And then we connected on such a deep level. And look where we are now. We're
Yeah.
sitting
Exactly.
here.
And here we
every
are.
week
And now we
and
talk every week
Yeah, it's so fun.
and share these unusual comments.
And I even missed Bonnie Raitt for your party.
I know.
that's a big deal.
It is a big deal because we know how much you like to go to
I
concerts.
know, but I was so touched that you invited me to dinner. I wasn't going to get to a Bonnie Raitt concert instead.
So I want to put that out there because I recently experienced this thing, like when you invite people to your house, how many people you invite? How do you, because it's also like we just talk about
You got to keep them
matters.
entertained.
But how do you invite everybody, or how is that like? Because I forgot somebody last time, and I just feel like I
Who'd
wanna.
you forget?
We're not talking about it.
can't
We're
say.
not talking about that.
Who'd you forget?
But
Don't
but
get her in
you
trouble. Not on this show.
You want to see what I mean?
We
Like,
didn't
I
forget.
can't-
We just simply didn't invite
Oh,
them.
gee. I just, that's another part of social graces of invitations are so exciting to get. But with every invitation that you open, there's another person who didn't get an invitation.
Exactly.
And so I mean, you have to draw a boundary in line somewhere, other we can't have like 1,000 people in your
But
house.
how do you like? How do you
do it?
how do you do it, and how do you happen to you when it happens to you? Is you understand what I'm saying? When
Well,
you feel like you were left out,
Oh, it's not, it's painful, but also it's
who
understandable.
it
or do you
was.
feel like it
I
was
know
left?
who it was.
Do you feel like it was left out, or do you
It's
feel
so
like
hard.
is it just like it's a thing?
I think it's very individual basis. It depends on what the group is and what's happening. But I really have learned in my 55 years on earth, at this point, if I'm not invited to something, I try to give the person so much grace because as a hostess for many parties,
Many parties.
Takes a
I
lot.
do know there's reasons that sometimes you just have to draw a line on numbers and costs, and you want to make it intimate and special for the people there, so you can't invite everyone because then that gets diluted. And so I do understand if I'm not invited that it's not a personal thing. It's just for whatever reason, that particular thing that's going on, I just wasn't included that time. And, maybe next time I will be. Maybe I need to reach out to that person more and maybe have more individual one-on-one time, like for dinner and connect. But I have learned to accept if I'm not invited to something.
But even if for weddings, it's an interesting one, right? Because
yes.
Particularly, I
Her
mean,
wedding was interesting.
you sort of going to like how many people you invite and how many people you don't.
There's always going to be somebody on the other side.
Yeah.
So in Texas, big South, they have huge weddings.
Is it
I'm
because of-
talking like over 1,000 people will be invited to a
Wow.
wedding, and
It's like a Joel Osteen wedding.
No, it's not.
no, but they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Maybe I don't know what it is, but they have like thousands of people, but they don't do sit down dinners.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're different kind of in terms of the
Right. This
reception
is
things as
different.
well. I mean, we had it interesting because we had everybody come to the church, to the service. Not everybody came to the reception.
But they also knew our financial
So,
reasoning.
but we wouldn't let anybody leave the church until we saw everybody. So we came out at the end after the reception, longest Presbyterian wedding in history, like an hour and 15 minutes for a Presbyterian wedding.
That's a
Normally it's like,
record.
you love her, you love her, good, bye, you're married, get out. No, long. So we came out and said, thanks for coming, you can't leave. We're going to come say goodbye. And
Yeah.
went aisle by aisle to let them leave,
Aw.
and then went to the reception with the special people and had the reception.
Oh my.
No, but I've been to weddings are so personal and they're expensive, and everybody has their own idea of how it should be done. But I've been to a couple weddings recently where it was the opposite. I was at the reception and not the ceremony.
I've seen that too.
I've seen
seen
that
that
too. So which one you feel more special? I
don't
personally think
know.
it's the ceremony is like that.
Yeah.
I know
sacred-
parents get upset when you just show up at the reception if you're not at the actual
That's
service.
But they don't invite to the ceremony. They only invite to the reception.
I think
That's-
there's something to
that's
be said
stranger.
about an intimate ceremony.
That's weird.
That's
Yeah.
I
true.
think that's weird if you're just getting invited to the reception.
It's kind of a trend. What do
It's
you
a
think?
trend.
That's
Yeah,
a bad
it is.
trend.
Oh, well,
So
I- understand
If
it.
you're getting married and
I
you
totally
are
get
thinking
it.
of inviting people just to the reception, don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Wait, Susan has a
Don't do
different
that.
I differ.
opinion. What's your opinion?
I differ. Yeah.
I want to hear.
You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, depending on what the ceremony is, I think it's perfectly fine for it to be very intimate. And I know a lot of people who get married and they're only with first degree relatives and a witness. I've heard of couples who do it on their own and then invite in everybody for the party.
If they're doing it on their own, I totally understand that. If it is just a family, and if you think of the back end of life, funerals are like that. Come to the viewing,
Yeah.
but the internment is families
right.
only, is private. So in that regard, yes. But if you're like, I have no problem with that. So let me amend my conversation to you guys. If you're doing that with just family and private like service, and then everybody to the reception, that's fine. You can do that. But if you're only
agree
having, if
with
you're
this.
having like a few guests, like a small circle of friends to the wedding service, and then everybody comes to the reception, that's bad. Just to clarify.
I think that it's just so highly personal, and there's also
It's personal.
there's
It
a
is.
religious aspect.
Yes.
I've been invited to certain religious receptions. I wasn't invited to the religious service
Yeah.
for various reasons. I was so embarrassed because when I first
Like
got
what
married,
reason?
well, when I first got married, Jeff and I moved to Las Vegas, and we were invited to a wedding of a Mormon couple. And you cannot go into the
can't go in
ceremony
the
into a
temple.
Mormon
Really?
couple. No. And I was really like clueless. I wore this tight black spandex dress to the reception.
Oh, very Vegas.
I thought so. I was
Were
definitely
sequins involved?
no sequence.
Oh my
but
gosh,
it,
Scott.
Just asking.
it was not appropriate. At
Everybody's
the reception.
wondering.
It was not appropriate at the reception at all.
Well, you look
So all the guys were in like white button-down shirts with black skinny ties?
The women had beautiful prairie, flowery
Little House on the Prairie?
dresses. And I had on a short black spandex tight.
Yeah.
They never forgot you. I'm sure they're still talking about you.
I think you're used in a class somewhere.
What not to do. I should have gotten that guide as well.
guide.
Right, they forgot
It's
the
that book.
Mormon's
Every
Guide to
time.
Vegas Weddings. It's a niche book.
Oh, that's next. That's next week.
But in the Amazon niche of Mormon weddings, it's #1.
Oh, good Lord.
So,
Ba-dum-bum.
Oh, it's
so now
kind of
that
a
we're
beauty.
talking about graces, how about faux pas? So I've made my share of faux pas. Not
I am like the
following.
king of faux pas.
Oh boy.
And I don't know what they are because I just barrel right on
What
through.
is that
So
even? I'm lost.
is doing something
What's a faux
wrong
pas?
that you
What
don't
I
realize
did,
that you're
the
doing.
black
Oh,
spandex
I see,
dress
I
at the
see.
Mormon
That's what it's
wedding.
called,
A
faux
faux pas.
A mistake.
Thank
We,
you
we,
for.
we borrow from
never
the French
knew
a
that.
lot in our
Yes.
English
It's
language.
like FAUX, like
Yes.
PAS.
So-
Well, thank you for
Like
teaching
faux
me
chapel
Okay. All right. Thank
Hey, that would
you.
be good for the follies.
or faux news.
Yes. Thank you for teaching me something.
Yes.
But there's such a thing as modern social graces with
Yeah.
times. So I recently made an appointment. I wanted to make a reservation in a restaurant. It was the three of us in a car, and I introduced myself, and I said, "Do you have a?" And my son, as I hang up the phone, my son's like, "Why did you tell them your name?" I said, "Because I was talking to them. I didn't know it was you don't need to tell your name." And then it reminded me the old days when you were typically, the phone was ringing, you
Yes.
picked up and, "Yo," or "Hi, this is the Kirschbaumer residence," and it was like always this conversation of what are you really supposed to do? And now I'm curious, when you guys, I don't even know if you're calling a restaurant to make a reservation. I'm a fan of that. I don't like the online
A lot of
things.
places don't.
I
even do
love
that
talking
anymore.
to somebody. I
I'm
love
not-
to
ran
have
into
that.
the
Yeah.
other day.
And I love to have that interaction. Like, this is a special thing. And, I know you could do that online too, but I love talking to people. And it was this, I introduced myself, and then I felt like he was just sort of pausing and say, "Okay, I guess I'm introducing myself too."
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
He just said, I think Walter or something.
Walter, yeah. And he didn't say his last name, but I don't think he needs to.
And then he said, "Oh, Ava, we don't have room."
Anyway, is it like it's over? But like, did I do too
No,
much?
I like it.
I just are we
No.
too old fashioned, or is it not modern anymore? Like, hey,
Right,
so
we're a progressive commercial.
so my son said it could have been like, "Do you have any tables for 3?" Yes, done in 10 seconds. His point was, you wasted somebody's time. So there was an interesting concept, right? Because then I thought, well, I didn't want to waste his time.
Yeah, Walter was very annoyed at you wasting the extra 3 seconds of saying your name.
But does it make sense what I'm saying?
I like to know. I'll say, "Oh, what's your name?" I think it's nice. I think it's a nice touch.
I felt then.
I think people usually respond really well to it.
So I typically, but then it's the same with, when you go up to, you have a way of charming flight attendants and stewardesses, and I don't know, when we're going upgrading, I don't know, whatever you do, you're amazing at it. And how do you you introduce yourself, or what's this? Is it social graces is what we're wearing as well? Like wearing
I
this-
think I think that is the
like
first
you're wearing
step,
jackets
right?
always when we're
So
flying.
for whatever reason, um, to the point where she gave me a hard time about it because we always would fly and dress up, not dress up, but you know, like a blazer and just look normal. It's the old adage, like, what if the plane, you don't want your dirty drawers hanging out when the plane crashes, right? And
I don't think
EMT
that's
know
how
that
we
adage.
dressing.
I never heard that.
Oh yeah.
Don't think so.
So I still do that. I'll wear a sport coat and things like that.
Nice.
She actually, I don't do it as much anymore because she got on my case. She's like, "Why are you so dressed up?" Now, back in the day when I was a college student at SMU in Dallas, coming back and forth, I did that. I continue doing that through there because in that era, I would just wait until everybody got on the plane, and then would just go sit in first class.
Oh.
That's not
Because
social graces.
that was wonderful. But nobody ever gave me a hard time, A, because I was doing that a lot because I was DJing, so people were hiring me
Wait
to
a
DJ
minute,
back
you
here.
did mischief.
I did. But
You did
at
mischief.
that time, it
We need
wasn't.
T-shirts.
Yeah, that's a great T-shirt.
It's a
You did
great
miss-
T-shirt.
Oh my gosh,
Okay, it's time
I'm
for
having
the
those
merch
made
line.
tomorrow.
It's time for the podcast merch
Yeah.
line. You're welcome.
That's actually a great name for a podcast. I've been trying to come up with a name for
I
a
was
good.
wondering about that.
Yeah. So at the time, everything wasn't as computerized as it is now. So, like the last guy gets on, he's wearing a sport coat, he's sitting down. Okay, that's great.
Did
Welcome
you
back.
ever get kicked out?
Nope, never.
Never.
Ever.
Love
Why?
it.
Is it because you think is your social graces how you behaved, or
I am a firm believer that if you act like you're supposed to be somewhere, 96% of the time, it doesn't matter whether you are really supposed to be there or not. If you act like you're supposed to be there and look like you're supposed to be somewhere, nobody will ever
You know what's
say
even
another
more
thing.
fun? When you are supposed to be there, but they don't think you're supposed to be there.
Well, that's the
happen.
flip side. That's the B side to that record, right? Because you know you're invited, so you just go off the rails, and you're like, ha, ha, ha.
That's the best.
Wait till you see what you get today.
I don't know. Wedding crashers comes to
It is a
mind.
very Wedding Crashers kind of thing, yes.
That's not
So what was I talking about?
Oh yeah.
Oh, how to make flight attendants upgrade you and stuff like that. So on a different level, there are all kinds of articles that are written by flight attendants that tell you what you should do as well, like suggestions, because at the end of the day,
But is it taking advantage of, or is it?
you can only take advantage of somebody as much as they allow you to take advantage of them.
Well, wait a minute. Her point was, which is now we go back to: is it genuinely you
I
dressing
am genuinely
up, or you
taking
dressing
advantage
up
of somebody.
because you want to get upgraded by the cute blonde who is gonna
Wait a
the
minute.
flight attendant?
Was our flight attendant with the little pink Jamie? Was he a cute blonde?
Okay, you know what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying.
But he okay, all right.
So this is where the social graces part come in. You be nice. You be genuinely nice. You know, say something complimentary. You're just nice to them. It's literally the same way you would treat a police officer if he pulls you over. You're just a nice person to them. You don't make any smarmy comments. You don't you don't get angry. You don't do anything like that. You're just nice. You're like, oh, and
So what's gonna happen when he's still giving you a ticket?
and
Are you
sometimes they do.
Are you still gonna be nice?
Yes, because
that's
so you're still nice,
genuinely.
and because that he's just doing his job.
Okay,
fine.
okay, that's
and
fair.
you just contest it and go to the magistrate and be nice to the judge, and usually the judge will throw it out
Oh,
or
so-
knock it down. So you still continue that there is a level, and you just continue being nice
I think
through
you
the
made our
process.
point.
No, seriously. I mean, I've been pulled over going 150 miles an hour, and I got that ticket basically thrown out by just being nice.
Really?
Yes. The guy was literally, I'm sitting there and talking to him, and I made the comment, and I was like 17. And I've said, anything exciting going on today? He said, not until you came along. and
Wow.
so he wrote me that ticket right out here on 28.
Wow.
He was like, I didn't know that car could go that fast. And then just he was like, just contest it. And I got to write it. I pulled you over. So, and then went down to the judge, and
But
the
see,
judge
now, this is
the
a
judge
whole
just shook his head and was
different
like, oh, Scott.
But this
and
is
then just
another
knock it down and
concept
throw it
then.
out.
That's right and wrong, and I don't like that. That is
Well, wait a
that's
minute.
not
So
social
let's
grace.
look at the police in Hungary when we were there and we got pulled over.
Yes.
Remember? You guys thought we were going to be disappeared and like be put in the terror house or something. Ava and her mom are in the back. It was late at night in little village outside in the hinterlands of Hungary, and they pulled us over. And she's like, oh, they're in the back. Because I guess apparently in the past, like if you got pulled over, then
So
you and your family and your descendants
they
just
don't need
disappear.
a cause. They don't need a cause to pull you over.
Whoa.
The police, they pull you over no matter what. They don't need a cause.
Well, he said he had a cause.
No. He just said
He said my fog lights were too bright.
But it wasn't like here when they're like,
There's
okay,
reason to be
the reason.
scared.
I don't know if I
Right.
said it
Yes,
correctly.
yes.
But I didn't freak out. I was just nice. I wasn't like, why are you pulling me over or anything like that. I was like,
True.
here you go, officer. And he was like, your
he
fog
speaks
lights.
English too. Which
He's
was
like, your
very
fog
cool.
lights are, can you turn your fog lights down? I was like, yeah, no problem. And off our merry way. No ticket or anything. And you guys are like, that never happens.
Well, it doesn't, but
They just shoot you in the head and bury
Whoa.
you in a
no,
shallow
don't
ditch.
say stuff like
Whoa.
that, Scotty.
I think that's a little bit different than Southern
Yes,
social
Scotty.
graces, but hey,
Southern Hungarian graces.
Hungarian graces.
Yeah.
So
That's
what
a new
would you
book.
say?
That's a reality show.
Coming out. Oh, that'd
so
be great.
that would be an interesting topic to compare for another time. The cultural
Hungarian police.
graces of, where you came from in Hungary,
it's authority. I had this conversation with a lot of
It's
people.
based on fear. The whole thing
Fear
is
of
based
authority.
on fear.
Those called
Because that's a whole communist.
teachers.
That's how it
well,
works.
anybody in uniform, anybody authority. You just say yes and you follow through.
Okay.
That comes with consequences, obviously. We've seen, and this is comes with consequences here. How they don't behave, and it like a security person in a
Okay.
store. Like
But that's a
you just-
fear thing also based on, not to interrupt,
shame and all that.
it follows through to like the neighbors spying on neighbors or
Oh.
like, nitpicking and stuff. So it creates this
Okay.
weird dynamic between
Yeah.
people. Nobody talks when they're walking around. Things are very quiet. There's not a lot of interaction if you don't know somebody. Of like an American, they know when an American's there because Americans talk to anybody.
I think you're
Right.
looking at it the different. You made the thing about airport, how quiet it is.
Even on the streets or wherever.
No, you don't want to annoy people. Being loud, it's not being
It's what
respecting.
we
That's
do.
a social grace too.
Well, maybe
because
it's what
you're
I
kind
do.
of annoying, particularly on a phone on the street.
Well, that's here too. I mean,
And
we
you
talked
don't
about that
do
before,
that.
like with the headphones where you think somebody is just nuts and a crazy person, but they're on the
Yeah.
phone talking to somebody. You just see them,
It-
and they're
it's-
talking to somebody on the other
social
line.
graces, right?
Yeah.
It's sort
but,
of.
but when you're saying you came and everyone's like, "How's your strawberries?" and you're like, "Why do they care about my strawberries?"
Another T-shirt.
Because
How's
I
your
never
strawberries?
experienced, I
Because
never
of-
mattered to anybody
Right.
before.
I see that because in where you were from, that's
And then on the back, why does he
not
care?
something that people would necessarily do.
Because those grocery stores at the time I grew up, they were state owned, so they really didn't care if I go in or not. These grocery stores are.
Coming soon to a New York City near you.
I should not
With
said that. I
Mr.
didn't even think about
with
that.
Zoran.
But what I'm saying is, it does matter to them that you say to them, "Thank you for your patronage," and there is a difference. So you go back to that grocery store.
I rarely met a happy, nice, like supermarket clerk at any of the places in Hungary.
I do it all the time.
Are they
in
the-
Hungary?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they don't exist.
Oh, I was just checking. 'cause
I thought
they're
it
just,
was- I
they're
thought it
just
was
surly.
United.
Well, you make
they're
a
just
good
surly
point
people.
because they're not trying to sell their business.
They just
that's very
it's so
different.
miserable.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
like a
different.
toll booth operator. Actually, toll booth operators are more friendly.
We went there and
Okay.
we didn't realize that the whole no bag is over there too, and they were like, "Well, we don't know what you're gonna."
Right, everything is just sitting there after they run it through, and they're just
They
looking at
were
us. They're like,
not. They just.
I'm like, they're like, yeah. What are
There
you
was
gonna
an
do with it?
absolutely lack of care. Like, well, if you
Get out of
have
my
some
store.
money, you could buy one. There was just a very different way of like here. well, you forgot. That's okay. We have some available to purchase. So you made a mistake. Don't worry. We could fix it.
You know what
Over
else is
there-
annoying? Those little plastic caps on bottles.
Oh,
Over in
yeah,
Europe,
I knew you were going to say that.
you can't, they don't come off. They're attached to the ring, so they stay on the bottle. Which, when you're drinking out of the bottle, the cap like pushes back into your face.
Oh.
It's really annoying. Like
What?
for ladies, particularly if you had makeup or lashes. I mean, the
Lashes?
the big lashes, like the
How?
cat, like Texas lashes that are like caterpillars that are out here. That cap is gonna get in your face because it's attached to the
Hey,
bottle and doesn't come
That
off.
is an interesting.
Well,
Yeah, this is why you don't see a lot of big fake lashes in Europe, I think.
so I think it's like interesting that you're coming from Europe, Eastern Europe, coming to America. You come to this place that seems berserk how everyone's so friendly, but then there's even a little bit more friendly if you go south, and that's what we were
Oh,
to talk to today.
Are you
If I
trying to
would've-
get this train back on the rails?
If I would have went there
Red
first,
south.
I would have never left, because that to me is a complete unbelievable. That you guys have your flags everywhere.
Turkey
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
There are a lot of flags in Turkey.
I just that patriotic, that love. I just love. I don't know if it's social grace or not. Maybe it's not a good, but I just